This is We're Gonna Make You Watch.
Hey everybody, welcome to We're Gonna Make You Watch. You got Bryan here, we got Isaiah here, and we are gonna be talking about the Halloween video games that just got announced, right?
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere.
It kind of did. It kind of did. Now, personally, I've been wanting a Halloween video game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, I wanted an asymmetrical survival horror game where multiplayer, a la Dead by Daylight, a la, Friday the 13th or Chainsaw last year. What have your thoughts been about regarding a Halloween video game?
So Halloween's been one of those franchises, it's so big, and yet what games have we gotten for Halloween? One, like, official game.
One official game, yeah.
And that was for what, the Atari?
The Atari 2600, yeah.
So it's been many, many years, since there's been a game. We had, like, for Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, we had the old LJN games from
for the NES.
The 80s for the NES.
And there was a Friday the 13th computer game for, I think, Commodore 64.
I believe so.
It might have even been on PC.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty bad.
Obviously Texas had their original game, and then now they've got their asymmetrical game. Friday the 13th got an asymmetrical game. Nightmare really hasn't had anything either, but at least they had the NES game,
right?
And Freddy's been included in, like, Mortal Kombat and Dead by Daylight and all that, and same with Michael Myers. But at the same time,
right.
There hasn't been, like, a game just for Halloween since the Atari.
Right.
And it's been a long time coming, especially with how big the franchise is, especially in the last 10 years with the new trilogy that recently came out, and that Blumhouse did, and it was pretty big, for what it was. And this just kind of came out of nowhere. I'm super excited about it. And we also got the first taste of what the first game is, because there was a lot of questions after the first couple of days about what these games were going to be like, because we know that John Carpenter is definitely involved with at least one of them.
Right.
And I'm guessing it's going to be the one that hasn't been announced yet.
That's what I'm assuming. Yeah.
Whereas this one, the first one that got announced was the side scroller one that's both Halloween and Ash versus Evil Dead.
Right.
Which is really exciting because we get another Evil Dead game on top of it too. So it's like, why not? It's
is
fucking
it just
great.
Me, or aren't the Evil Dead video games pretty fucking badass? I've played.
They're so much fun.
They are. They're a blast. I've played probably all of them because they've had them for the Xbox, the original Xbox. They've had them for the PS2 and all the older consoles, and then of course they had their asymmetrical horror game, which was really fun and gorgeous.
Yeah,
it didn't last very long. I don't know what it was that didn't pull people in, but I honestly thought it was a pretty cool game.
Yeah,
it was really disappointing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was really disappointing when they said they weren't going to be continuing supporting that. You can still play it though. I think. The servers and stuff are still up. You can still play it. But yeah, it's yeah. Let's watch the trailer. Yeah, let's watch the trailer for what they got first for us.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go.
Rated M for mature.
Oh, I can definitely. I love this. This commercial is fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is gonna be so fucking cool.
He totally does a fucking uppercut a la Ken and Ryu.
Yeah.
So does Ash.
I've always loved the style of these games, and this is
Yes,
just got me
me
super
too.
excited.
See, this is pretty neat. You buy both games, and you can take one character
Yep.
to the other, and then of course we've got Lori and Kelly coming.
Which is just
So
great.
that's
Yeah, it's
I didn't
just
know.
so exciting.
I didn't know I wanted this.
Yeah.
I didn't know I
for
wanted
sure.
this. When I first watched the trailer, I was like, "Oh, okay." And the more I've watched it, I'm really on board with this.
Yeah.
It's just big, dumb fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's totally nothing wrong with just creating a super fucking fun platforming, side-scrolling beat 'em up is essentially, and you get to take Michael Myers through Haddonfield and kill all sorts of shit. I didn't know I wanted that.
This will be the perfect game to load up on a Steam Deck and just
Yes.
play all day. I mean,
Exactly.
it's
Now
gonna
I
be a lot
know
of
why
fun.
I bought my Steam Deck. Now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, with this coming out in October, then it leaves the question of when is the second game coming? And I gotta feel that that's got to be the one that John Carpenter's actually involved with, and it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if they're not going asymmetrical, like Ash versus Evil Dead, and going or the Evil Dead the game, I mean, and going more of like a story-driven game or something like an Until Dawn or The Quarry or something like that.
Okay.
Which could be very interesting if they went in something like that.
Let's talk about this, because, like I said when we first started talking about this, I wanted an asymmetrical survival, multiplayer horror game.
Yeah.
I don't want that anymore. And the reason I don't want that anymore is because it will not make it. It's not going to. Chainsaw is just barely holding on, but it's getting ready to lose probably 60-70% of its player base because it's getting ready to leave Game Pass. And I don't see too many people playing that game afterwards. I don't care. And honestly, I just don't think Gunn has really done a very good job of supporting that game. There's content there, but you've got to pay for fucking everything,
and it seems expensive too.
It's
a lot
you
of
add it all. It's fucking expensive for what you get.
Yeah.
And I'm not down. I bought the game. I bought the game once, and I'm not fucking spending a bunch more money. Like, I might buy maybe Virginia, right? Because it's Barbara fucking Crampton and she kicks ass. But I don't want another asymmetrical. I don't, because it's not gonna make it. It's gonna die.
Yeah.
I want Alien Isolation, but Halloween.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I think. I think that would be the route to go. Create a story that takes place in the Halloween universe and take place whenever the fuck you want. You can ignore every sequel and just do a story that takes place right after the events of the first movie.
Yeah.
And just create a story that you can go through and have to avoid Michael the same way you have to avoid the xenomorph in Alien Isolation. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That's just and then you mentioned Until Dawn or The Quarry. You could create that too. That'd be fucking amazing. That'd be awesome. Create a whole ass narrative, massive narrative that you can walk through with multiple characters, and you got to try to avoid Michael, and you save one or kill one, and it alters the path of the game. That'd be amazing. But I just don't want another asymmetrical. And if you're gonna give me multiplayer, in my opinion, you have to give me something single player.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna fucking make it. It's just not.
No.
They're gonna die. They've all died. Dead by Daylight has fucking killed all of them. So I think it's time to stop pretending that you're going to be able to make a game that's going to compete with Dead by Daylight, because there should be room for all of them to coexist. But
Right.
let's look at it. There's fucking not. There's fucking not. I mean, like I said, Chainsaw. I looked up Killer Clowns, which obviously is a very small fan base. It's
Very
the
niche.
epitome,
Very niche.
It's the epitome of cult classic. Okay. I looked up 70 people playing that game. 70 fucking people playing that game on Steam. 70. That's right. 70. Less than 100. That's tiny. And,
Yeah.
you know, more power to them for still supporting that game. I mean, obviously it's pretty new, so they'll probably support it for at least a year, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But there's reasons to play Killer Clowns. It's a bunch of free shit to unlock. You know, a bunch of cosmetics and different killers. You know, different.
Can't really
clowns
say
to
that
unlock.
about Chainsaw.
You cannot say that about Chainsaw. You got to buy everything. You can unlock multiple skins out the gate. They're all just different fucking colors of the same shit you wear. And then all the clothing packs you buy are all just reskins of the same shit. You got to buy everything in that fucking game, and it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. They don't give you a reason to play. They're like, oh, double XP weekend they announced for their anniversary. I'm like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Nobody. But I mean, that being said, Chainsaw's a fun game to play. It really is.
I mean, it really is. It's just that they kind of just shit the bed with everything else with it, and the fact that you know, you can't really incorporate you know, any of the stuff from the sequels unless you have, you know, the licenses for that, because Chainsaw's IP is just so messy with different studios having
it
access
appears
to different
to be.
things.
I mean, it certainly appears that it is.
Yeah, it's just so that kind of screws you there on, and then, you know, not being able to utilize that and the different types of leather faces from the different movies, and then, you know, you really only have like the Nicotero
And
leather
that's like
face.
fucking expensive as hell to buy that guy.
Yeah.
And it's just skins. I mean, it's just skins.
And like I would like to have some of the other family members from the different movies, you know,
yeah,
like
I'd love
Chop
to have
Top, you
in
know,
that game,
stuff like that. It's just that we can't have it if they don't have the rights to it, so they got to make these new characters, which I understand, trying to create new characters for the game to try to grow up, but at the same time, people are going to want stuff that they know and love about these movies to be incorporated in. It just sucks that it's not, and that's kind of a hinder.
Yeah.
But then just kind of how everything was handled with, like, you know, crossplay being taken away for that period of time in the beginning, that didn't do it any favors whatsoever, because they took it away for quite a bit of time, and it just kind of killed the momentum of the game. It just kind of, it just seems like it's been struggling since then, you know. And I know the game's got its fans, but yeah, it's just like,
it had around last I looked on Steam, it had around close to 1,000-ish players playing, which is far more than Killer Clowns. But that's still small. I mean, usually there's like 50 or 60,000 people playing Dead by Daylight on Steam, and probably just as many on console, you know, because I think Dead by Daylight's on Game Pass. It's been on Game Pass for fucking ever. And then I want to say PlayStation gave it away once a long time ago. So, there's like, we'll go back. Let's go back to originally what we're talking about, what we want in Halloween. That's what I want. I want Alien Isolation, but Michael Myers. So I want Halloween Isolation. I want Halloween Isolation. That's what I want. Now, if you had to pick, what would your Halloween game?
Honestly, I want a good game where I get to be the killer and then stalk the victims.
See, that would be a blast. That would be a blast.
You know, kind of like what they did with the Friday game, where when they finally put the single player shit in there.
Yeah,
towards the end,
right,
with the different challenges. I want like levels like that where I can play as Michael and have objectives and go through and have to not get caught, and then, you know, obviously kill teenagers on Halloween and all that. So
Yeah.
that's what I ideally would want. Something story driven that is kind of connected, and you can do these different missions. Kind of like, say, like a Hitman game or something like that, where you
Oh,
gotta
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
have like the different objectives and stuff like that. I could get behind something like that, but
Yeah.
more horror versus stealthy action Hitman.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, if I can't get that, then yeah, something like Alien Isolation or an Until Dawn would be ideal.
Yeah.
In my opinion, something where you
Yeah.
get tension and stuff like that.
See, I just don't want an asymmetrical multiplayer game. I don't want one.
Yeah, and no offense with
You may
boss
if,
team
if you're gonna
games,
do
it's just
that. If you're gonna do that, you may as well just say fuck it. Just stop making the game and just tell them to buy Dead by Daylight in the Halloween package.
right,
I mean, because you can already do that as Michael. You can already
right,
that you already have that platform.
yeah.
Because
It,
I think the
it's
Halloween chapter is only like $6 or some shit like that.
something like that. I think I got it
Yeah.
for that, or $5 or something. It was a
and it
while
comes
ago
with
though.
Michael and Lori. So I mean, you get 2 characters and then all their perks and stuff that you can unlock. But
Yeah.
I
But
don't know, man.
my biggest fear with it is if they were to go asymmetrical again with Boss Team Games, their track record with, closing down Evil Dead after a year. That's why that's the biggest reason why I don't want it to be an asymmetrical game. I have
Mhm.
fun with asymmetrical games
I
even
do too.
still.
Yeah.
But just with how they just unceremoniously just said, "Oh, we're done. We're not making any
Yeah.
more content for this game." That's the fear that I have with going with this, because I don't want to see that happen with finally we're getting a
Right.
Halloween game, and then all of a sudden, a year later, we're not doing anything else with this game. So sorry about your luck with that. So
Yeah. It is. I know we've talked a lot about the negatives.
yeah,
But the excitement is there. I'm ready. I'm really ready, and I'm excited for Halloween video games finally. Boy, that Atari 2600 one isn't great, and it's not aged well.
no.
Ironically, the Chainsaw Atari game is aged better.
Which is
That
funny.
makes any
Yeah.
fucking sense, because you actually use Leatherface in the Chainsaw game, but you use, I think, the babysitter is what it's called in 2600. You use the babysitter. But yeah, the Halloween Atari game isn't great. But you know what? If you guys ever find it and get the opportunity to play, you got to play. You just say you've played the Halloween Atari
I've got
game.
it on my Steam Deck in my emulator, so
Oh,
it's one of the
yeah.
many games that I have.
Like retro art, is that what you
What's it called? Emulation Station is, I think, what I
okay.
use.
But yeah, so that's that. Look, Halloween video games coming out, y'all. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you're excited for Halloween games. Let us know what you guys want in Halloween video games. Do you got anything you want to add and say to our viewers?
No, I'm just super excited for it.
Yeah.
Cautiously optimistic.
Right. You have to be.
Yeah, in this day and age, especially just because horror games like this on IPs are just so like hit and miss, and I'm hoping that this one's going to be a hit, because things haven't been the greatest since the Friday the 13th game, because it started out great with that game, and then just all the shit just kind of put like it's just been kind of a cloud over
it's been rough.
These different games. Yeah,
it's been rough. Like ever since, like, I mean, obviously we've had some like Resident Evil 8 came out.
Yeah.
And then they remastered Part 4, and those are all great. Those are all fucking awesome. But we've been wanting a Halloween video game.
Yeah.
So I love the side-scrolling, super fun, cheesy little 16-bit beat 'em up that we're getting. I'm excited for that. I'll buy both of them. And yeah, those are Steam Deck perfect, or ROG Ally if you're one of those kinds of people, because I've got both.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Let us know what you guys want from a Halloween video game. And with that being said, thank you all so much for viewing, and we will catch you on the next episode.